Hello, my name is Simon Smith, and I'm Mr. George Washington's campaign manager for the presidential election of 1796. Washington set precedents with everything he did, including suggesting the maximum term length for future presidents to follow. George came out of retirement per request of the people, to win in a unanimous vote, and he will do it again. Third time's a charm. Let's begin with why he should be re-elected. Washington created the cabinet since there were no officers in the executive branch other than Adams, Congress members, and himself. He knew he wouldn't be able to run the country on his own, so he appointed people to head major departments to divide the power. There will never be a better cabinet than Washington's because his good judge of character helped pick men suitable for the jobs and is incomparable to any others to challenge his position. We can also thank Washington for the creation of the First National Bank. Due to his good judgment, he appointed Alexander Hamilton to Secretary of Treasury, where he developed his three-point financial plan to pay off the country's debt. Step 3 was to build the bank where tax money could be stored, loans could be given, investments could be made. It created jobs, and formed a uniformed currency. If not for Washington's good intuition, the country could have had a very hard time getting out of debt. During Washington's presidency, several treaties were made which improved foreign affairs and our country's economy. The Jay Treaty was obtained with Britain by the first Supreme Court Justice, John Jay. Yet another example of Washington's great judge of character. Jay was a man who set precedents both in the courts and overseas. Washington made the U.S. so desirable that everyone wanted to be a friend. In one of the best treaties this country has seen, Spain gave us use of the Mississippi River in return for our friendship. The Pinckney Treaty gave Americans right to deposit so he could temporarily unload goods in New Orleans without paying a duty to Spain. This allowed farmers and merchants to use the river to move their produce to the port of New Orleans. It can then be shipped all over the world. This treaty greatly improved our country's trade and economy. Yet another instance where Washington chose the perfect man for the job. In order to manage the nation's debt from the war, Mr. Washington's treasurer, Alexander Hamilton, issued the excise tax, which placed a tax on the production of whiskey. Many farmers were upset by this tax, and so a few hundred rebelled. Unlike Shay's rebellion, Washington put a quick and strong stop to the whiskey rebellion. Sending 13,000 militiamen to silence the rebellion, Washington showed how strong leaders should act as well as the strength that the nation possessed. The United States is a young nation that needs a wise and strong leader like Washington to run it. With war beginning between France and Great Britain, the United States was called on by both nations for support. France, after greatly helping the United States win the Revolution, expected the United States' support without hesitation. In addition, Great Britain was hoping that the United States would have the heart to help out their home nation. However, Washington, being the wise leader that he is, said no to both nations through the proclamation of neutrality. The United States is a developing country with a lot of debt to take care of. Washington realized that and wisely decided to not go to war. The United States needs a leader who understands priorities and who, other than someone who has consistently showed that he has always done what is in the best interest of the nation. George Washington is the best president this country will ever see. He has set the bar at such a high level that he will be the only one able to reach it. He would rather die in office than let an undeserving candidate run this country. When voting this election, remember all that Washington has done for this country and what more he can do given the opportunity. Third time's the charm. This ad was funded by Washington campaign correspondents. We approve this message.